Good afternoon, Ms. Bridgewater. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
Good.
Look like we may have a good one today.
Don't.
Fingers crossed.
You know how that works, Ms. Bridgewater.
Yes, I let it come out my mouth slowly. Wow. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and claim it.
It will be. It will be.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well this afternoon.
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Courtroom 3, are we starting with you all today?
Yes, Judge. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to see you, Judge Morrow. Can
You
we start
also-
with position number 4, please?
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. McGahee. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. McGahee, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001410J with battery family violence. Mr. Howard, is there a history?
Who are we on?
Or
Position number 4.
Mr. Howard?
Welcome, Judge. See who number 4 was. It's the first arrest.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Sari.
Good afternoon, Judge. In this case, officers responded to 988 Trestle Tree Court in Atlanta regarding a physical dispute. The victim, Demetrius Beatty, that's Beaty, he was retrieving his items from the defendant's home, and the defendant is the mother of his children. While the victim was retrieving his items, the defendant punched the victim in the face multiple times, which caused knots on his forehead, a bloody nose, and a scratch on his face. Your Honor, the state is recommending a $4,000 surety bond with conditions of a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, third-party transfer of the children, a one-day anger awareness course, FBIB, and no drugs or alcohol or weapons while on bond. Thank you.
Have you spoken with Mr. Beatty?
We were not able to get in contact with him.
Okay, and this Trestle Tree Court, is that where she lives or where he lives?
We have it as both of their addresses.
Okay. Ms. Gant, good afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Tiana McGahee is 28 years old. She has been in the Atlanta area her entire life. She has 2 sons, and their ages are 8 and 2. She is the primary caretaker. She's not receiving any child support, and she also has daycare expenses. Your Honor, she informs me that 988 Trestle Tree Court is her residence. She states that Mr. Beatty no longer lives there. She completed 12th grade. She is employed at Progress Security as an unarmed security officer. In fact, she is due at work today. She denies the allegation. She states that while Mr. Beatty appeared at the residence to remove his belongings, he actually jumped on her. She states that he bit her on her arm. She was merely acting in self-defense, and they also have a dog at that residence. And of course, once Mr. Beatty attacked her, she states that the dog in turn attacked Mr. Beatty as well, causing some of his injuries. We are requesting a signature bond. This is her first arrest, and again, she denies the allegations. We are opposed to that stay away, and she does not want any contact, and we are in agreement with the third-party transfer. Thank you, Your Honor.
A $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, one-day anger awareness class, no further contact with Mr. Beatty, third-party transfer of the children for visitation, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. McGahee.
Position number 8, please, is next.
Good afternoon. Is it Ryman?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ryman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001412Y with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No. She need a cosign.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. Give me a moment to find this case. Your Honor, I'm requesting that the state's requesting a signature bond for this defendant, given the fact that she doesn't have a history, Your Honor, a $3,500. I'm sorry. Yes, a $3,500 signature bond. And the conditions are do not return to the incident location at 2355 Old North Park Lane in Milton, Georgia. That she have no contact with the victim, Samantha Ryman. The last name is Reiman. That she take a 2-day anger management course. No weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, just to put the facts on record, on March 14th, 2022, around 5:59 p.m., Milton police officers were dispatched to 2354 Old North Park Lane in Milton, Georgia, in reference to a domestic disturbance. Upon arrival, the officer, Z. O'Neill, spoke with defendant Bianca Raymond, who advised that there was an argument about her leaving the home with her boyfriend. Defendant advised she had packed most of her belongings and was trying to take her dog. The defendant informed that the dog was a gift from her father. The victim, Samantha Ryman, did not want the defendant to take the dog away from the house. The defendant said the two had been arguing about the dog and had gotten close to each other. The defendant further said the victim attempted to grab the dog out of her arms, so she pushed her away with her right arm. The victim advised officers that the defendant was trying to take her dog from the house and that she did not want her to. The victim advised the defendant slapped her in the face and spit on her. 2 witnesses at the scene stated they did observe the defendant hit the victim. The officers observed a video in which showed victim holding a small dog and the defendant striking the victim in the face. The video also showed the defendant spit on the victim, and these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Nothing further from the state.
Who is Bianca Ryman to Samantha Ryman?
It's her sister, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ms. Raymond is actually 17 years old. She is minor. That's why her mother and father are here, I believe, at the Zoom hearing. And I believe that since she's only 17 years old and she still has to go to high school, she's 11th grade, I believe that she has to go back home where she is residing with her father. Stay away from her main incident place, which is her permanent home address, is not really healthy at this time because she needs to go back home with her parents. So we don't mind about signature bond. We are concerned about stay away from the incident location, and also no further contact. Her sister is 15 years old, so the victim is also, complaining witness is also a minor at this point. And I believe that she was a straight A student before pandemic, the COVID hit. And when the system became online classes, she was kind of drifted away from the classes. And right now she still has to go to 2 more years in the high school. So if you don't mind, I don't mind Mr. Kevin and Terry speak on behalf of her their minor child.
Okay, so this is Mr. and Ms. Ryman that I see on Terry's iPhone and Kevin Ryman, is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm happy to let you speak on the matter. If you can raise your right hands for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we can start with you, Mrs. Ryman. What would you like to tell the court?
I would love to say that my daughter was an amazing kid before everything, where the pandemic happened. She really got involved with drugs, and she was a straight A student, like it was spoken before. And what I would love is just for her, obviously, to not struggle with life and to be able to go back to school and stay away from drugs. Those are the two things that I feel like will save my daughter's life.
Okay. Do you want her back in your home?
I don't live in the state of Georgia. I live in Florida. She lives with her father, who lives in the state of Georgia.
Okay, all right.
She can live with me. That's not a problem. I just need her off of drugs and back in high school.
Okay. Mr. Ryman, what would you like to tell me? You'll have to unmute yourself, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
My biggest concern is her use of drugs. I know that she was on drugs during this incident. She's been using drugs every week, probably every day, her and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend has pointed out the fact to all of us when he's angry at her, he shows her vials of drugs that she's been using. She's been in and out of rehab programs, mental hospitals over the past 2 years that I've dealt with personally, her mother and I, and it's been a nightmare. My concern is that these drugs that she's using is causing this activity, this behavior of hers. She hasn't been in school for over a year. She's out on the street every day. She comes home high. She sleeps all day. She hasn't been able to hold a job. She can't drive a car. She's crashed my 2 personal vehicles at least 7 times now. I'm barely able to get insurance under my name because of all of her accidents. Yesterday, when she was home, she was trying to get everybody else in the house in trouble. That's why she was there. She was trying to steal a dog that was not hers. A dog was mine. She was trying to take the dog in order to harm me or her sister. She just went in the cage to grab it just to be mean. And then she was banging on my bedroom door, trying to get me to come out so she could confront me in a fight, but I'm not going to. So her sister was downstairs, so she came and started to fight with her instead. This is activity that I'm afraid if she gets out, she's going to keep doing the same thing. If there's any way that we could put her on a program, something to detoxify her, or put her on a drug monitoring program, something, because rehab hasn't worked. I've tried to offer her outpatient rehab. She's refused that. There's a program here in Cumming that she's refused to do that's even free. I don't know what else to do. She's with this 21-year-old boy that she's been dating, who's also using drugs and now sending threatening messages to my family and our friends as a result of this incident still today. So I don't know what to do. If she can be on probation, something where she's at least monitored, has some accountability for her activity.
Okay. So let me just explain to you all that this is a bond hearing today, and she's accused of a crime. She has not been anything but accused. So at this point in time, given that there's only so much that the court can do with this at this juncture, I'm willing to hear from you all as to, I understand that you believe that she needs to have some type of treatment as far as drugs may go. I guess my first question would be, if she gets out, where is she going? Whose home is she going to be allowed to stay in? Do you want her in your home with your 15-year-old daughter? And unless she has a cosigner, she won't get out. So one of you will have to, or an adult will have to agree to cosign if she's going to get out and be on pretrial. So with that said, where would she go if she gets out?
Well, I was assuming she would be living at my house.
Okay.
I think
she's under
the impression she'll be going to her boyfriend's house. That's what she probably thinks.
Okay, so if I let her out, she will. It will be ordered that she stay at. Are you at the 2354 Old North Park Lane address?
2355.
2355. Okay. So she will be required to stay at that address if that's an address that you want her to come to.
I don't know what other options there would be, but I want my daughter home as long as she's not on drugs.
Your Honor,
Okay.
If I may,
Yes.
I want to pose to a no violent contact with her sister, given the situation. Also, Your Honor, I would like to add a ADET and also a curfew for this defendant, given her age, a curfew from
I've got the curfew that I'm gonna give her, Ms. Tortorella,
Okay.
already, okay? And she's also gonna be ordered to stay in school.
She's out of
Okay.
school currently.
Well, she's gonna have to, as far as the bond goes, she's gonna be required to enroll in school. What grade is she in?
She's
11th.
finished. She's going to be in 11th. Yes.
Okay, all right.
She dropped out in 11th.
All right, so before I pronounce the bond order, anything further, Ms. Tortorella or Ms. Kim?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Ryman, are you gonna be able to go down and sign for her? Because that's the only way that she's gonna be able to get out of custody, by having you you sign.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, a one-day anger awareness class. She is to live at 2355 Old North Park Lane in Milton. She is to have no further violent contact with her sister, Samantha. She is to have a curfew of 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., which means that she has to be indoors by 9 p.m. and she cannot leave again until 6 a.m. She's going to be required to enroll back into high school and stay in school. And there will be an alcohol drug evaluation and treatment ordered if necessary. Let's see. Bianca, you're going to be able to get out, but but if you violate any of these terms, you're going to be right back where you are. You understand me, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. and Ms. Ryman, anything more that I need to hear from you all?
No, sir.
Okay, all
Are
right.
you
well,
waiving?
Good luck to both of you all.
Thank
Are
you.
you waiving the utility?
Yes, I'm going to waive the utility bill.
I'll send it to you in a minute.
All right, thank you. All right, you all take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Number 12 is next, Judge.
thank you.
You welcome.
Good afternoon, Ms. Williams. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Williams, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001419G with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
So first,
Ms. Tortorella.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommending for the criminal trespass charge a $2,000 signature bond. The conditions be that she do not return to the incident location, 80 Anderson Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia. That's MARTA. That she have no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law while she's out on bond. Your Honor, given the fact that she has no criminal history, this is the reason why the state does not oppose a signature bond. And just to put the facts on the record, Your Honor, on March 14th, 2022, the defendant, Gabrielle Williams, did knowingly and intentionally stay inside a vehicle belonging to MARTA after being told multiple times to leave. And these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia, Your Honor. And nothing further from the state.
I take it you don't oppose a signature bond?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim. Anything further?
Only thing that I would like to mention is that I recommended social worker services for her because she is homeless. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. If there is a MARTA stay away in place, that she's to abide by the MARTA stay away, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Okay, good
Thank you,
luck to
Your
you,
Honor.
Ms. Williams.
That's all I have in courtroom 3, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good afternoon. Courtroom 2, thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, Judge Murray. How you doing? It's Officer
I'm
Miller.
doing well. I hope you all are too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have position number 10, Mr. Tremaine Watts in front of you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Watts. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Watts, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001417B with battery, family violence, and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
It is, but I have to go grab it because he went to felony first appearance earlier, unless you want the state to give it.
If you can get that while.
It's next door. I'll be right back. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
that's fine. Go ahead, Ms. Tortorella.
Yes, Your Honor. The bond recommendation is as follows: for battery, family violence, a $4,500 cash bond; for obstruction, a $500 cash bond; a total of $5,000 cash bond. The conditions: do not return to the incident location, which was 3300 College Street, College Park, Georgia. That he have no contact with the victim. The victim's name is Zamirian Gay. That's Z as in zebra, A, M as in Mary, E, R-I-A-N as in Nancy, Gay, which is spelled G-A-Y. Your Honor, that he take a one-day anger management course, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on August 20th, 2021, around 6:58 a.m. at the incident location in College Park, Georgia, the defendant, Tremaine Watts, first name is spelled Tremaine for the record, punched the victim, Zamarian Gay, on the nose, causing her to bleed. The defendant had lived together with the victim in the past for 2.5 months. Also on this date, around 6:58 a.m., at the incident location, the defendant did obstruct the officer S. Sewell, that's spelled S-E-W-E-L-L for the record, of the College Park Police Department, by fleeing from the officer after being told to stop several times. Officer Sewell issued warrants on August 20th, 2021 for the defendant's arrest. The defendant was not arrested on said date, but arrested today, Your Honor, on March 15th, 2022, which is over 6 months later. All these events occurred in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, just to put on record, the defendant is currently being held on felony obstruction without bond and, to my recollection, and possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. And that case is 22 CP 207449. He also has a second open felony case, Your Honor, 22 SC 181068, which incident date of August 21st, 2020. Possession of firearm by convicted felon, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute drug objects, and theft by receiving stolen property. He is in violation of this bond order, Your Honor, given the fact that he was arrested on his subsequent felony case. Also, Your Honor, he's in violation of a bond order for a misdemeanor open case. This is 21 CR 002406B, loitering and prowling, obstruction, and marijuana less than an ounce. Your Honor, this defendant obviously poses a risk of reoffending, given the cases that I've just stated to you on record. Intimidation of the witness, Your Honor, he knows this victim. He's lived with her. He has irrelevant convictions, carrying a weapon without a valid license, which is a violent offense out of DeKalb County State Court in 2018. And 2017, given a false information to a law enforcement, Your Honor, and nothing further from the state.
Anything to add to the history, Mr. Howard?
A couple of FTAs, probation violation for terrorist threats, 2017. And that felony charge today, he got a $3,000 good bond for that.
Good afternoon, Mr. Olaloye. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing well. Is your case?
Yes, Your Honor, it is. Judge, Mr. Watts is 25 years old. He does have one child with the alleged victim in this matter. Your Honor, I would note from speaking with Mr. Watts, it does appear that she does not live at the location of where this incident happened. It's my understanding that he actually lives there, and she does not, Your Honor. If that does pan out true, I would ask that he is allowed to go back to that location, Your Honor, given that's where he lives. Although he did indicate that if the court is not inclined to grant that he does have a place to stay, he did indicate that he would need to get an address, but I believe it's his one of his aunt's home that he would be able to go to. Your Honor, Mr. Watts is currently unemployed. I believe he was employed at the time of this incident happened. I know the courts have kind of resuscitated their allegations of the facts. I would know that this happened in 2021, Your Honor. I didn't quite catch the date, so I don't know if the other cases happened prior to or if they happened after this incident, Your Honor. Again, I would ask if he is qualified for a signature bond, Your Honor, if the court is not inclined to grant a signature bond, I would ask that a small surety bond be ordered. I have spoken with Mr. Watts, and he did indicate that a small amount would be able to be paid by his family. So I would ask for a $2,500 surety bond if the court is not inclined to grant a signature bond. In regards to the facts of this case, obviously Mr. Watts does still maintain his innocence. Based on my conversation with him, he indicated that this was just an argument between him and Ms. Gay. At the time that he was trying to leave the home, he did indicate that the cops arrived. However, he just said that he wanted to go to work and he had left to work, Your Honor. And again, he does maintain his innocence. I do understand the court's concern or the state's concern in regards to both his communication with Ms. Gay and his possible ability to reoffend, Your Honor. And that's why I would ask if the court is inclined or if the court is somewhat concerned. The state is not, we are not opposing to any no contact with Ms. Gay. And again, I would just note for the record, they do have a child in common. It's my understanding from speaking with Mr. Watts that he is active in that child's life. So I would ask, Your Honor, if the court does want or if the court is going to grant some sort of no contact, we would ask for no violent given they have a child in contact. However, the court does not want to do that and instead pose a more strict order of no contact, we would ask that some sort of order is in place where they can have, I guess, a third party in the event that he does want to visit his child, or if there is some type of exchange of their child, Your Honor. So he does have the ability to still see his child in the event that he is able to post whatever bond that the court does impose. Again, I would ask that he is allowed to go back to that home. If he's not, I would just ask that a one-time order escort be imposed or be ordered so that he can retrieve any belongings that he might need for the meantime, Your Honor. So that's my argument. Again, I would be asking for a signature. However, I would understand if the court's not inclined to grant that, and I would just be asking for a $2,500 surety bond, given that he does not have the ability to pay, and his family would not have the ability to pay a high amount. Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, for the battery, family violence, a $3,000 good bond. For the obstruction, a $1,000 good bond, making for a total of a $4,000 good bond. No further contact with Zamarian Gay. He can have a one-time escort with law enforcement to see if Miss Gay is still residing at the 3300 College Street address. If she is not residing there, then he can reside there. If she is residing there, then that one-time escort will be to retrieve any belongings that he may have at that address. Given that he's to have no further contact with Miss Gay, of course, I'm not going to keep him from his child, so he can have a third-party transfer of the child through family members or whomever for visitation. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Watts.
Your Honor, that concludes my matters. May I be excused?
Yes, you have a good afternoon.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have position number 5, Mr. Willie Myers, position number 5.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Myers. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are holding by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Myers, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001413A with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Fourth arrest, 2009, misdemeanor possession of marijuana. 06, suspended license, he pled NOLO. And a 03 simple battery criminal trespass arrest.
Okay. Let's see, who's presenting for the state? Ms. Tortorello,
Your Honor, did you say position 5 or position 9?
we're on position 5, Mr. Myers.
Oh, okay, sorry, Your Honor. That is me, I apologize.
Okay, that's fine. Let me know when you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. Your Honor, for this defendant, the recommended bond is battery family violence is a $4,500 surety bond. Your Honor, on March 13th, 2022, around 5 p.m., an officer Woods of the Atlanta Police Department was dispatched to 2115 Belhave Lane Southeast, and that's BELHA V as in Victor E Lane Southeast in Atlanta, in reference to a dispute call. Upon arrival, the officer spoke to the victim, Erica Myers, who stated she was assaulted by the defendant, Willie Myers. The officer observed visible injuries on the victim's face. The victim advised the officer they got into an argument about the defendant leaving the residence. The victim further stated that her husband had moved out of the residence to live with his girlfriend about 2 months. However, she decided to let him stay there with her children for a week. The victim said that on this day, she and the defendant were on their way to a memorial service for her sister who had passed. The victim stated she and the defendant got into an argument after the victim had asked the defendant to leave the residence. The defendant got upset and put the car in park and then pulled the dreads from the victim's head and scratched the left side of her face. The defendant then threw the car keys in the middle of the street and told the victim that he would end her. The entire altercation happened in front of the children, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, the conditions of the bond, no contact with the victim, Erica Myers, that he do not return to the incident location at 2115 Belhave Lane, Southeast in Atlanta, Georgia, and that he take an anger management course, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law while he's out on bond. Your Honor, even though the defendant doesn't he has only 4 cycles, Your Honor. However, this is very concerning for the state. These acts of violence against the victim, pulling the dreads out of her hair and basically stating that he was going to end her and doing this in front of the children is really concerning. He is a repeat offender, Your Honor. He has 4 cycles on his record. He has the ability to intimidate this victim, Your Honor. He knows who she is. He was currently his wife, and he has already shown to be violent against her. He also came back after the incident date, Your Honor, to the same location, and that's when the victim called the police, and that's how he got arrested, Your Honor. So this is another form, Your Honor, that he would show way to intimidate this victim. And I ask that you not grant a signature bond, that you grant a surety bond for this case. Nothing
Thank
further
you.
from the state.
Ms. Gant,
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Willie Myers is 43 years old. He is a long-term Atlanta resident. He is separated from Ms. Myers, and they share 4 children, ages 6, 10, 13, and 17. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away at 2115 Belhaven Lane Southeast. However, we are requesting a one-time law enforcement escort. He states that he has a truck there that he uses for work. Mr. Myers completed the 12th grade. Well, he obtained a GED. At this time, he is unemployed. He does not have the means to pay much, if anything, toward bond, and I am requesting a signature bond on his behalf. Regarding the allegations, he offers a competing version. He states that, yes, they were in fact, on the way to his sister's memorial service. He states that en route to the service, Ms. Myers began discussing paperwork about the divorce, and he states that she began arguing with him and became belligerent. She stuck her finger in his face, and he stated that he merely slapped her hand out of his face. And he says that he denies threatening her. He basically stated that he wanted to end the argument and stop the car. That's the extent of any threats that he made toward her. Regarding the state's contentions, we did not hear about any recent violent history. As a matter of fact, we did not hear about a disposition whatsoever for that simple battery, criminal trespass in 2003. He is recommended for a signature bond. We are unopposed to the stay away. He does not want any contact. Therefore, that will certainly take care of any concerns regarding him intimidating the witness. And for these reasons, again, Your Honor, I'm requesting that signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then a bond of no more than $1,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gant. Erica Myers, I believe I see you on the Zoom. You're not required to address the court, but if you would like to address the court, I would like to give you that opportunity. If you want to, I'll need to swear you in. Would you
Yes,
like
sir.
to? Okay, do you
Yes,
swear
sir.
affirm, do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Myers. You can put your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
As far as the truck that he's speaking of, actually, as I'm sitting here, his mother and his father is actually here to retrieve the truck with AAA. He did have some miscellaneous things that I did collect for her this morning. So anything that belongs to him here is in possession of his parents.
Okay, so you're telling me that he has no need to come back to your home?
He has no need to come back here. And I spoke with someone this morning as far as I'm not opposed to the no contact or the third party transfer because we do have 4 children together.
Okay. Anything further, ma'am?
Only what I've said before. I did not touch him. We had 8 kids in the car. I had my hands up, everybody in the house, in the car saying I did not touch him. And what I said happened exactly. I still have the hair here that he pulled out of my scalp, and he scratched me in my face, and he scratched me on my neck. Because he was angry, he did threaten me that he would end my life with his firearm in the cup holder with our children in the car.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Anything further, Ms. Gant?
No, sir.
Yes, Governor, I would ask that the court not consider any testimony regarding a firearm. There is nothing in the warrant to indicate such.
And Your Honor, the state does request that you take the victim's statement into account. As you know, there is a victim's bill of rights, so she has every right to make a statement here and talk about her experience at the date of the incident. And that, again, we ask for no signature bond, that it be a surety bond, given the facts of this case.
Okay, thank you. It's going to be a $3,000 SOB through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness class. No further contact with Erica Myers. Stay away from 2115 Belhaven Lane. And there will be a third-party transfer of the children for visitations, given that there's to be no further contact with Ms. Myers. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Myers. And
thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Position number 6, Mr. Phillips.
Good afternoon, Mr. Phillips. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Phillips, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001414H with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
4th arrest. Last arrest was back in December. 2 counts of failure to appear out of Cobb County. July 2021, public indecency conviction. July 2020, 2 counts of simple battery dismissed. He has an FTA warrant out of done with it. That's it.
Okay. Ms. Sorry?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, while patrolling MARTA, a station agent saw the defendant enter into the tracks of the eastbound location without consent. Your Honor, the defendant was then arrested. This incident location is 30 Alabama Street Southwest in Atlanta. As we've heard from pretrial, this defendant does have a FTA. He has multiple FTAs. He's currently being held on a foreign warrant out of Dunwoody for loitering and prowling, Your Honor. The state's the bond has already been set at $500 surety. The state is recommending the bond remain as set with conditions of a stay away from MARTA and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Phillips is 26 years old and he has been here in Georgia for 19 years. And he just got a job at Wayflyer as a marketing analyst. So he really want to start his job as soon as he can. And also he graduated from Kennesaw University with a bachelor's degree and his major was marketing. And he has his parents here, auntie and sisters. They're all here in Georgia. I don't think that he has any flight risk. And he does not have a danger to the public either. There's not that much of a significant history of criminal history that indicates he is dangerous to the public. So we would like to request for signature bonds for his condition. Thank you.
All right, it's going to be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Abide by any MARTA imposed stayaways and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck, Mr. Phillips. I'm letting you out, but you're going to have to come back and answer for these charges. If you don't come back, they're going to put a warrant out for you. You understand? Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, was that pretrial or jail?
That's through the jail.
Thank you.
We got position number 1, Mr. Teddy Baltimore.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Baltimore. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Baltimore, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001408D with criminal trespass, willful destruction of a law enforcement officer, and possession and use of drug-related objects. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
42 total. History out of Nebraska and Georgia. Last arrest was February 2021, trespassing in Nebraska. He got an open criminal damage to property 2nd degree. That's 20 CP 191859. He went to felony earlier, got a SOB through the jail. 2019 misdemeanor obstruction conviction. Failure to appear from 2017. Possession of drug-related objects. Possession of cocaine. Pled no low 2017, possession of cocaine. 2017, possession of drug-related objects. 2016, simple battery, possession of drug-related objects. It just says transferred to state court. 2016, FTA trespass. Probation violation from 2014 and a battery from 2014. And I'll leave it at that.
What did he go to, what was the felony that he went for this morning?
I'm not sure. I just know my coworker told me it was, he got a UJR or
Okay.
whatever it was for.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard. Ms. Sari?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, while officers were patrolling the parking garage located at 90 Central Avenue in Atlanta, they noticed the defendant on the premises after he was told about 5 hours prior to leave. He refused to leave, and then officers arrested him. He resisted arrest by being aggressive. He tensed up his body and placed his hands underneath his body. A search incident to arrest, Your Honor, discovered a crack pipe with contents that is believed to be cocaine. This, as we've heard from pretrial, this defendant does have multiple arrests. He has a 2013 possession of cocaine and obstruction conviction, 2014 obstruction conviction, 2017 possession of cocaine and drug-related object, another 2017 possession of cocaine and drug-related object, as well as a 2019 obstruction conviction. He does have an open criminal damage in the second degree charge where he was given a $5,000 pretrial bond. So that should be revoked at this point. Your Honor, given everything that I've stated, this defendant does present a risk of reoffending. He's also a flight risk due to the FTAs. The state's recommendation is a $1,500 surety bond for the criminal trespass and a $500 surety bond on the other two charges, an alcohol and drug evaluation, treatment if necessary, stay away from the parking garage, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, which will make that a $2,500 surety bond. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Teddy Baltimore is 56 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area all of his life. He is residentially challenged. However, he has a mailing address, and I will be happy to place that in the chat. He does not have any family here. His nearest relative is in Nebraska, Bridget Baltimore. I did try to reach out to her to see if she would be able to contribute anything to toward bond. I was unable to reach her. Mr. Baltimore is disabled. He began receiving payments in January of 2022, although he had been disabled and applying for many years prior. He completed the 10th grade. Your Honor, he denies the allegations. He states that he was merely, well, firstly, he denies being given a warning 5 hours before to leave that property. He states that he basically was there because he was trying to avoid getting wet. And he states that officers began harassing him. Your Honor, these are nonviolent offenses. I do acknowledge my client's history. However, again, these are nonviolent offenses. He does not have the means to pay bond at this time, and we are connecting him with our social workers to help with his living situation. And again, for these reasons, I am requesting a signature bond. We do not believe that he's a flight risk. He doesn't have the means to leave the jurisdiction. Furthermore, he does not have the means to afford the alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment recommendation by the state, but he understands that he needs to stay away from that 90 Central Avenue address. Thank you, Your Honor.
So it's going to be a $250 good bond on each charge, which makes it a $750 total good bond. Stay away from 90 Central Avenue, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Baltimore.
Clements, position 2, Mr. Clements.
Good afternoon, Mr. Clements. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Clements, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001409C with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest. Last was 1993, possession of cocaine.
Sorry?
Your Honor, in this case, officers responded to 355 Buffington Drive in reference to a physical dispute call. When officers arrived, the victim, Tisandra, Tishaunda Williams, she advised that the defendant was her boyfriend and he punched her multiple times during a verbal dispute. The victim suffered lacerations to her lip, face, and swelling all around her face. Your Honor, the state has recommended a $4,000 surety bond on this case with conditions of a stay away, no contact with the victim, 1 day anger awareness, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, and an FFIP. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Dennis Clements is 56 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area his entire life. He has 4 children, ages 36, 29, 27, and 1 minor child, age 15. He also has 3 grandchildren. Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away at 355 Buffington Drive. He states that that is a residence that he actually has a mortgage on. He has been at that residence for 2 years. I was able to reach out to Ms. Tashonda Williams. She states that she would like to have no violent contact, and that is the wish of my client as well. He completed the 12th grade. He also earned a CDL license. He works for DeKalb County. He drives a sanitation truck. Your Honor, he denies the allegations. He states that Ms. Williams hit him first. He basically was acting in self-defense, and after this incident, he went on to work. We are requesting a signature bond on Mr. Clements' behalf. He does not have any convictions for violence. He also is recommended. Again, we are requesting no violent contact, no stay away, and we are opposed to the FDIP at this time. Your Honor, he has not been convicted, and that would be something that's more appropriate in the setting of a conviction for battery family violence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gant. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1 day anger awareness class, no further violent contact with Ms. Williams, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Clements.
Position 7, Mr. Porter.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Porter. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Porter, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001415E with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
I got second arrest. That was 2008 out of California for obstruction conviction.
Okay. Ms. Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor. For the bond recommendation is as follows. For the criminal trespass charge, it'll be a $2,500 surety bond. The conditions be that he do not return to the incident location at 17102 Masters Way in Alpharetta, Georgia. That he have no contact with the victim, and the victim's name is Melissa Porter, traditional spelling. That he take an anger management course, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law while he's out on bond. Your Honor, on March 14th, 2022, at around 9 a.m., an Officer Jay Atkinson of the Alpharetta Police Department was dispatched to the incident location. The officer was informed by the victim, Melissa Porter, that on this day, the defendant, Hazarn Porter, came to drop off their daughter at the incident location. The victim advised that she got into a verbal dispute with the defendant, that the defendant left the location, and then after leaving the location, he came back and kicked the front door of the apartment. He kicked it continuously until the door's lock tore through the door frame and the drywall supporting it, Your Honor. The defendant came inside and then took their daughter. The defendant and the victim are going through a divorce currently, and the defendant had custody of his daughter last weekend and was returning the daughter to her mother, the victim. These events all occurred in Fulton County, Georgia, Your Honor. Your Honor, the defendant has a cycle, one out of California, and now currently he has a cycle in Georgia. So this is making him a multi-state offender, Your Honor. I understand that it may not be, the offenses may not be so close together. However, his record does reflect that he keeps repeating offenses. Your Honor, he poses an opportunity to intimidate this witness. As you see just on the fact pattern of this case, Your Honor, he got into an argument with the victim. He left. And then he came back and kept her door open, Your Honor. This is very concerning. He knows where she lives. They're currently going through a divorce. And Your Honor, and this is, he's capable of violent acts. So, Your Honor, for this reason, we do feel a surety bond is appropriate. I apologize, Your Honor. And, you know, this is not his first time committing an offense, and therefore we do feel a $2,500 surety bond is more than reasonable. Nothing further.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Porter, I would like to request for a signature bond because he's qualified. Whatever happened, it was happening at 2008, more than 14 years ago, decades ago. He has served country as a veteran, and he graduated from California Art Institute. His major was nutrition science, and he served at VA, a veteran hospital, as a nutrition scientist. He has a daughter, 8 years old, and this is first ever offense here in Georgia. And one thing is the 17102 Masters Way. His name is also in the lease as well. He's willing to stay away from that location, but he needs one-time visit with an escort because of his cell phone being there. So he has to get his cell phone from that location. So we would like to request for a signature bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Melissa Porter. Stay away from the 17102 Masters Way address. He can go back to that address on one occasion to retrieve any belongings that he might have there. He's to have third-party transfer of his daughter for visitations, given that he cannot have any contact with Ms. Porter. No drugs, no alcohol or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Porter.
Thank you.
Who do we have next?
That's it. We're completed here, Judge. Actually, position 3 is for Mr. Hall. He had his appearance waived.
Okay, what about position 9, Stanford Smith?
And he's also a medical reset.
Medical reset, okay, till tomorrow?
Yes.
All right, till 3/16. What about position
12,
11,
11.
Desiree Williams,
Oh, she's in Union City.
Union City, okay?
And also position,
Position 3,
yeah, that's the one that he got his appearance waived.
okay, that's a waiver of appearance, okay.
And
So that takes care of everyone
in courtroom
in
2.
courtroom 2. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good
Thank
one.
you. You do the same. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so while we get, let's go ahead and do the South Annex and then we'll go back to position 3.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Before you is Ms. Desiree Williams, position number 11.
Good afternoon, Officer Milton. Good afternoon, Ms. Williams. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
All right. You've been charged, Ms. Williams, in case 22 CR 001418F with theft by taking. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
I counted about 33 total between California, Nevada, Florida, and Tennessee. Got an open case, simple battery and public indecency. That's 20 COV 000231. I see an open felony obstruction, simple battery against police, disorderly conduct, interference with government property. That's 16 SC 146568. 2018, she got 7 years, sentence in Clayton County for theft by receiving, 1 year to serve, 6 years probation. You want more?
That's fine, thank you. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. The bond recommendation is a $5,000 surety bond that she did not return to the incident location at 2841 Greenbrier Parkway Southwest in Atlanta, Georgia. That she have no contact with the victim, Raquel Amons, and that's Raquel. Last name is Amm as in Mary, On as in Nancy S. That she take a theft class, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on February 6, 2022, an officer R. Smith of the Atlanta Police Department responded to a mall at 2841 Greenbrier Parkway Southwest in Atlanta in reference to a theft. Upon arrival, the officer met with the victim, Raquel Amons, who advised the officer she works at the Natural Identity store salon inside the mall. The victim stated that a customer who she serviced in the past came to have some work done. The victim said she denied services to the female suspect who was wearing all blue. The female suspect became irate after the victim denied her services. The victim said she had another client in the chair while the verbal altercation continued. The victim asked the client to assist her in calling security, and her client refused. Then the victim walked out of the store to flag security down to get the suspect, the defendant Desiree Williams, out of the store. The victim said the defendant then began grabbing her items to leave, and then the victim's purse was right next to the defendant's items. A clear bag containing $955 was stolen from the victim's purse. Defendant was not at the scene when police arrived, and all these events occurred in Fulton County, Georgia, Your Honor. And just to highlight what pretrial said, Your Honor, she currently does have an open felony case. This is 16 SC 146568. And this is the one that involves simple battery against a police officer and a felony obstruction charge. And then an open misdemeanor case with the before state court 19 CR 009810A. It's a DUI case. This is actually a dormant case, Your Honor. She's had a bench warrant on this case. This actually shows that she is a flight risk and not to come back to court if she does go out on bond, Your Honor. Also, she has violation of probation out of Clayton County, January 5th, 2017, and several FTAs. Most recently, one for March 14th, yesterday, 2022, out of Fulton County. A January 22nd, 2018 FTA out of Clayton, and she has a couple out of Marietta, Your Honor, 2017 and a 2016 FDA. And for these reasons, Your Honor, given the fact that she has 30 cycles in Georgia, she's a multi-state offender. She never came for her DUI case, Your Honor. She's a flight risk. This does deserve a surety bond, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Miss Williams is actually, she has lived here in Georgia for 35 years, and she has one child who is 24 years old, and he is serving for U.S. Navy. He has a sister, and Miss Williams is a main caregiver or a babysitter for her niece, who is only 3 years old. So she really is committed to be here in Georgia. And also she has a hospitality industry. She's been working at the hospitality industry for the last 12 years. She graduated from high school. She even has an anesthetist license to become an assistant dermatologist. And she would like to request for low signature bond, surety bond, no more than $1,000, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I see Ms. Jones on the line. Ms. Jones, you are not required to speak. If you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to unmute yourself and I'll have to swear you in. You'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I really feel sorry for this young lady. I had only serviced her one other time before this time, and she is an African American sister. That's why I kind of serviced her again. She was a little different the first time I serviced her. But she is to me a threat to society. She has a history, even of the short time that I've known her, to be irate with the police. Also, she went through Greenbrier Mall's parking lot in her 2000 whatever Porsche, almost hitting 4 elderly ladies.
My God, this lady is lying. This lady, you
Hold
are
on.
lying.
Wait.
I witnessed this
Okay,
myself.
everyone stop talking.
I witnessed this myself,
Okay,
sir.
all right, so Ms. Jones, all right. I only want you to speak on what you know about this case, okay? So what you can tell me about this case, I'm happy to listen to. Anything that involves anything else, let's leave that for some other time, okay? So if you want to tell me anything about this theft by taking, I'm happy to hear it.
She stole my money, and she also picked up a broom and told me she was going to beat my ass with the broom. She told me she was going to get her lawyer. She just went irate, and I was there to service her from 12 o'clock. She arrived there at 12 p.m. When we got into it, it was 6:30 p.m. The Greenbrier Mall closes at 7 p.m. So from 12 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., she had been back and forth into the salon to get her eyebrows done. She went and got her makeup done. She went and got some clothes. She went to the beauty supply store. By the time she got back to me, it was 6:30. I could not service her, and she got irate. She picked up a broom. She started swinging it at me. She almost hit the young man in my chair. And then when I asked the people to go get the security, they act like they was entertained by the action. So once again, she was, "I beat your ass, bitch," and all this stuff. And so I went to get her myself. My purse was right next to her things that I did watch for her while she was in the mall for a couple of hours, which was her clothes and her hair that she was going to have to get done. I watched that for her. She went through my stuff looking for $1 pads, Serenity napkins for myself. I had become on my menstrual during this time. She went and got me $1 pads, and she went irate about that. She was like, "Well, bitch, I went and got you these $1 pads and all this stuff." She went through my stuff when I went out to get the security, and she was going to fight me at that time. And so I went to get security. She still wanted to fight me, even with the security there, and they put me back. And that's when I noticed on the camera she had taken my money.
All right, thank
She
you,
was
Ms.
the only one
Jones.
there.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Anything further, counsel?
Your Honor, I would like to say that this is what she claims and she alleges. My client denies all her allegations, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, it's gonna be a $2,000 good bond. Stay away from 2841 Greenbrier Parkway. No further contact with Ms. Almonds, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Will I get my money back?
This is only a bond hearing today, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to all of you all, Ms. Williams and Ms. Jones.
Amen.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Thank you, Officer Milton. We appreciate it. Is that the last one? Yes. Okay. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Given that we only have position number 3, who has a waiver of appearance, I believe that they want a breakout room for that case. Given that we don't have anybody else on to take care of this afternoon, if we can just, instead of going to a breakout room, just stop transmitting live on YouTube so that we can do that privately. Okay, would that suffice for you, Ms. Falk?